My name's Cliff Alfiche. Made my first jump, I think it was like Mother's Day, 1971. Today's date, okay, September 3rd, 2014, and we're at Skydive Midwest Freefall in Ray, Michigan, a little grass strip operation about 30 miles north of Detroit in the country, sorta. But I'll say again that I made my first jump in 1971 in Saline, Michigan, and been in the sport, what is that, like 43 years, I guess, something like that. I think the first thing that inspired me to jump was to see the Golden Knights do an exhibition jump at the Canadian National Exposition in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I got to see the Knights jump. Yeah, overhead was like 3 beavers flying in formation. The Knights got out. I could see all these guys get out. You know, there's probably about, I don't know, 30 of them. And all I could see was like little dots in the air in free fall. They exited from about 10,000 feet. And I'd never seen anybody in free fall. They opened their canopies. I was laying on my back in the grass on this little island there, kind of like islands in Lake Ontario. And those guys landed right next, several of them landed right next to me in their PCs. I said, I got to do that. Where can I go to do this? So I think it was the next year, or it could have been, no, it was the following year. Ran into some friends of mine that had done some static line jumps about an hour west of us near Ann Arbor, Michigan. And you know, it was just, man, I got to go do that. Like probably 90% of the people that got into the sport still do. Went there and made my first static line jump, came back the next weekend, did 2 jumps. I was just jonesing out. I had to do it. I think in a span of like 2 weeks, I got to my clear and pull. The little delay where you actually get to open your own parachute and it's static line. And then just progressed on from there, did 5-second delays, went to another little drop zone, did a 10-second delay, and then the guy that my jump master, Mike Arbor, in fact, that was here, he says, what kind of delays you did? I said, I've been doing 10 seconds. He says, how you doing? I said, no problem, you know. So he put me out on a 10-second delay. He says, and I said, okay, can I go 20? He says, hell no, man, you can go 30. He says, the farther and faster you go, the easier it gets. So did a 30-second delay, jump after that. Him and his buddy went down and pinned me, and that was it. I was addicted. So that was the start. And made 300 jumps that first year in Zephyr Hills. Not in Zephyr Hills, but I went to Zephyr Hills, spent the winter down there, came back, made more skydives, and by about 2nd year into the sport, I was jumping with some really good people, got my foot in the door, and actually got on the team with the Beach Nuts. And that started it there. Actually went to competition, jumping out of small door beaches, doing speed 10-way, and just excelled with the Beach Nuts, and met so many people that were influential in the sport through the Beach Nuts. John Sherman, rig designer, manufacturer, and Nick Lucas, organizer, and Ken Coleman, the father of AFF, and jump with those guys, and Rainbow Flyers, first world champion RW team that went to that medaled in South Africa, and Rocky Evans, all those Rainbow Flyers, Don Carpenter, John Wymaster, which were all here at this recent Midwest Skydivers reunion. And it was an epic event. I was making skydives with guys that were on we were on the same team 40 years later and still talking about it. It's a one-time only event, and people that attended were just lucky enough to to witness all this, the happening. It was a happening. But to backpedal again, skydiving, you know, I was on with the Beach Nuts, and then jumped with Exodus. Went to the Nationals. I think I went to the Nationals from, first Nationals was 73 and went all the way to 79 attending Nationals events. And back then it was every other year was the RW event. I think it was either the odd or even numbered year. The other year was Style and Accuracy. So that was my introduction to sky. I just went headlong into it. Just got right into competition and just went for it. It was just an amazing part of my life.